Son símbolos. Manolo. Y Alicia. Está ahí, Manolo. Raquel, vuelve. No, que empezamos. Vale. Ahí, tú hagas todo el rato. Porque está bien preguntando mi nombre todo el rato, así que. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we are okay. Response was quite good for being the time it is. Welcome to Madrid.
Wow!
I've been 11 years in Toastmasters, and it's the second time that we have a district event in Madrid, which is kind of strange. So we had the conference. Who was in the conference 11 years ago?
Wow!
Imad Fan and San. You know that we have our conference chair in the room. Who is Alicia? And you have voice today. And now we have the first DECM of District 107 in Madrid. So welcome everyone, and thank you everyone for coming. In Porto, I had my doubts about this happening, and I'm so happy to see a full room, or almost a full room. I mean, it's never 100% of attendance. So really, the first applause is for you. Thank you. Before we start, just wanted to welcome two people that are normally not here. Antonio is Mendes, he's new area director in Division D. You know him, I guess. George, where are you? Okay. He's been in several meetings, but not in physical meetings. So it's the first time we also see him here. So welcome. And also we will have stage time later on. Alicia Mancheña, who is our alignment chair, she's also joining today. And last but not least, our deputy or emeritum administration manager, Raquel Garcia, who is taking over. One practical note, you will see here a screen with your face. We are recording the meeting for the 6-7 people who couldn't make it, so that we can share the video with them and they can follow the DECM. Not live, because logistics to make this live is a mess, as you know. But we told them that they could watch it later on if they wanted, so that they will have a couple of days to watch this. So it's being recorded, but it will be sent only to them, and only for a limited time of period. So I hope nobody feels bad about this. If anyone doesn't want to see his or her face in the video, we can stop the video and keep recording. Okay? And the voice. Everything okay? Yeah. Then we are ready to move to the first point in the agenda, who is an inspirational moment by a past district director, who is actually the immediate past district director, Nelson Emilio.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, leaders of our district. Are you really a leader? This is a question.
Yes.
Who told you that you are a leader?
My mother.
Well, that's the ones that usually love us, right? And they love us. That's why sometimes they say, okay, you are a leader. But the ones that don't, they recognize you as a leader because loving you as a leader is something that is very important. And when we are leaders, we are empowering people and we are giving them additional value beyond the things that we normally do. So we're empowering them because we want them to become leaders as we are right now. And the leader creates new leaders. It's all about empowering people and creating new leaders. It's not about creating followers that sometimes people think that a leader needs to do. Can you move to the second slide, please? So if this is all about empowering, why we as Toastmasters care about numbers? Because one of the things that I saw in our WhatsApp group was, well, this is not about numbers, this is about members. Okay, that's important, but when we are empowering people, we need to have a way to measure things. Otherwise, it's always subjective. And we need to have objective things. We need to have things that says, you are progressing. You are doing something that helps others to grow. And when it comes to clubs, we only have one way to understand if the club is progressing, which is club visits. People usually think that we have a deadline or two deadlines to present club reports. And well, what we do, we submit club reports almost in the end of the period. And sometimes they say, well, the system is down. Well, yes, because everyone submits the reports on the last day. But why do we need to submit them? Why do we need to visit the club report? Because we are empowering people, we are helping them. And we need to look to clubs to better understand what are they doing and what we as a district can do to help them. What we as leaders can do to support those clubs in order for each one of their members to grow, become better persons, and become better professionals. But above all, they want to be like us. They want to see that, okay, these guys are here to help us. And I want to become something similar to those people with their skills, with their empowerment, because I want to help others too. Do we do that daily? Or do we stand here and we think, okay, we are going to one training because we need to have one check in our process that say we attended this training. We want to have another check saying that we submit the club report on time. We want to have another check, we say that we grow one club more. Or do we want to empower them to help them become better persons and better professionals? You see, I attend to a lot of trainings and I do trainings on leadership. But once I read something that I'm going to read to you that was related to the 5th anniversary of the United Nations. There was a conference with a lot of people that paid $5,000 to attend to the most experienced leaders and renowned leaders in the world like Peter Drucker and others. And at the end of the conference, there was someone that was not a keynote speaker, that was there only to talk 30 seconds. After that, there was a survey and people voted to who was the best speaker. This person was not in the list, but this person was by far the one most voted, and it has more than the double of number of votes of the second person. And I'm going to read what this person said in 30 seconds. Something like this. So, you want to change your people. Do you know your people? Do you love them? If you don't know your people, there will be no understanding. And if there is no understanding, there will be no trust. Where there is no trust, there will be no change. And if you don't love your people, if you don't love what you do, and that love is not communicated through you and what you are doing, then there is neither power, neither passion. And where there is no power and no passion, no one will be prepared to take risks. And if no one takes risks, there will be no change. So if you don't love what you do, if you don't empower people, And if you don't communicate that in the best possible way, you cannot expect that your clubs will exist in 10 or 15 years from now. We suffer from club growth because people are not committed to be in the clubs, because sometimes they don't see value. They don't see that we as leaders give enough value to them. So love what you do, be empowered on your role, and empower others to grow.
Now, our administration manager, the deputy administration manager, Raquel, will read the district mission. Well, please.
We build clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence.
I guess this is quite unique worldwide.
Yes.
Good. And now, welcome from our hosts. Do you like the venue?
Oh, yes.
Do you like the location?
Yes.
Good. Well, this is just the beginning. Manolo, where are you?
Welcome everyone. Welcome all district officers of Iberia. So we are here in Madrid. Madrid is the center of, well, no, it's not center. Yes, geographically. But this is not true because I am from Pinto. The real center of this Rebecca is Pinto, my hometown. So forget about that, forget about Madrid. So we couldn't organize this in Pinto because it's too small and there's enough room for all of us. But perhaps in the future we can organize this event in Pinto. But anyway, this is the center. I say the center because please stand up, all the people who came, this is the north, who came from the north. North is in that direction. So we have Vitoria, yes, Vitoria, Bilbao, and Gijón also. We have Gijón there. Santander is anyone from Santander? No, but we have in that direction Barcelona. No one will have Andalusia. Paul, where is Paul? He's missing. We are in the northeast Barcelona. We have this Valencia, no one, but we have Nacho. From Alicante, but in that case is the south. In the south, we have Madrid, we have Sevilla, and then south of Portugal. No one from south of Portugal? No. No. But we have Lisbon, so please stand up the people from Lisbon. Porto, in that direction. Galicia, no one from Galicia is there, so and there. So we have a club. This is in Madrid. In the only way we can do that. We can meet other people to make the club all Peninsula Ibérica. So you are here, but we are trying to organize the best event possible, but I call myself Charlie. You know that? Because I have my 3 angels. So please, Alicia, Lydia, and Raquel came with me. Alicia, you want a picture of the angel? Please. Only event have you arranged for all of us, but the support and the consejos, advice that they gave me was very, very good. So thanks to all of them. So all of this teamwork. And that's all. Enjoy. Do you need something? Ask me or the team. Okay. I will do that.
Funny moment. I was talking to him with some details, and he said, "Let me check with you." You know, he was saying my advisory team said this should be changed. We should change this and that. So this is really a team effort. So next step in the agenda is the Robert's Rules of Order by the parliamentarian. Order!
So what are we here for? We're here to do some work. We're here to go through some proceedings, to make decisions, right? And in order to do that, we need to have some way of doing it. We need to have a process of doing it. Otherwise, if we all try to speak at the same time, this will not work. So how does this work? Well, there's an even bigger book than this with all the rules, Robert's Rules of Order, and I mean, he's Robert, I'm Roberto, we're not related, nothing to do with that. And we tried to condense that in simplified, which are a much shorter version, which has just enough information for most of the meetings that we have. Now, first of all, who here hasn't got one of these yet? Okay, can I pass this on and then you pass on until we get to the end, and then at the end of the morning, I'll go and pick up the rest of the pile. But the thing is this, basically what this all says is we're going to have a process to make decisions. And how do we do it? Well, there's a proposal, there's a motion, and then, so someone says, I move to, and then that person states what the objective is, states what he or she wants to do. And then someone will have to say, I second, basically to confirm that there is interest from the rest of the assembly to actually proceed. And then maybe, well, if necessary, then we'll go on to discuss, and then we'll go on to vote. Now, there's a small pitch here, which is that at some point during the discussion, someone can make a change to the change. So someone can make an amendment to the original move. And in order to do that, someone just has to say that I move to inside the discussion. And then inside the discussion, just one more layer, and that's it. And then we have to roll back all the way back by voting, approving on the amendment below, then this one and that one, and then it's finished, and then we go on to the next point of order. This is much simpler than it sounds, or than it looks here, but of course it can be messy. But we're here all to get together and do this, right? We're all in this together, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, not just as yeah. People sweat there, sure. Yeah, go Norberto. So the main two things is discussion time is limited, so we can't just go on rambling forever about the things that we want to talk about. And the second thing, and not less important, is that only valid votes count. So if you don't vote, or if you vote blank, it doesn't count for the total vote. Now today, in these motions that we have here, it should be very simple. I mean, if all goes well, and if Nacho wants to breathe in as well, this will be a breeze. But that's why we're here for. We're here to get together to finish with this business, right? And get the work done during this decade. Thank you so much for your attention.
Who was in Porto? Who remembers Porto? Who wants to repeat Porto?
Fine.
Okay. Let's start. Let's start with things that are the same as in Porto. Certification of quorum, Raquel.
Whoa. Yes, we have quorum.
That means that whatever we decide is final, which is already a step. In some of our online meetings, that didn't happen, right? So first step, next, it's not a step, it's point in the agenda, is the adoption of the agenda. You have the printed agenda, the final printed agenda on your desks or tables. So and this has been sent before the meeting with keeping all the rules that Toastmasters imposes for this purpose. So if there is no objection, I would like to carry to adopt the agenda as presented. Is there any objection? No. Okay, then we have made the first decision. First decision. This is going well. This is going well. This is the agenda. Next point on the agenda is approval of the online DECM minutes of the meeting that we held online via Zoom in November. This has been also sent together with the agenda. Enough time. You have all read them truthfully. I'm sure about that.
Yes.
And so if there is no objection, I would like to approve. I propose that we approve the DECM minutes of meeting as presented. Is there any objection? No? Second decision of the day. This is going well. And now we start with the reports. This is what we all came for, right? Yeah, I know that. So we start with the core team, and I start with myself, which is the district director report. This time I'm not going to put any graph here. For the people that have been around for some time, you know, I love that. Later in the DLP, I will have graphs. I have my dose. Don't worry about that. I'm not that. I haven't changed that much. But I wanted to reflect on something. We are in the middle of the year. We have a little bit less than half of the year, but we all know that we don't really start the beginning of the year. So we are more on the middle. So what has happened in the first half of the year? Maybe you relate to this. First is understanding what we are managing, right? What are our clubs? What do we want to do about that? Remember my why in Porto. It's about team building. We have a new team in the divisions with the area directors, in the area with the club presidents and the club officers, in the district with all of you. And that happens at different levels. And then we did a plan. We did a district success plan. We modified the plan and made it more real after a couple of months. And we said, this is what we want to achieve. Do you relate to this more or less? Mm-hmm. So what is coming now? The next 5 months. Now we are executing the plan. Do you feel that you have already executed the plan that you made? You have executed that already? Are you done with the plan? If you are done, you have to redo the plan and be more ambitious, okay? If not, you are still to go. And normally, what happens is that the magic happens in the second half of the year in Toastmasters. So this is about that. This is when we build the class. This is when we really strengthen them. This is when we put the focus and we are more effective. This is when we are actually performing, and then we will finish soon. When we are performing, we will step down and leave someone else take the opportunity to learn. So apart from executing the plan, I would like you to focus on 2 things that are important. Think that you will close. So the year ends on June 30th, and we need to close strong. Don't stop in April or don't stop in May. No, we still can do things till June 30th, and the clubs need us till June 30th. So we need to go all the journey with them till then. And then get ready for the handover. Do you remember your handover from your previous area director, division director? The core team, I know they remember because we do an event for that. But do you remember that? Okay? The silence is quite significant. You should remember that. And if you don't remember that, make the next one remember it. So start planning for the handover. Start planning for what I'm gonna tell him or her. And you still don't know who it is, but it's a good moment to start thinking about it. And then the last part, the celebration. Are you planning to celebrate? What can we celebrate by the end of the year?
The end of the old program.
Yeah, but this happens every year. We have a lot of celebrations to happen. We have a lot of clubs which will be successful. We have a lot of people who will be DTM. We have the areas who you might be also distinguished or present distinguished, which is a team effort. Celebrate that. Plan for a celebration. Make some event to close the year, to wrap up and say, hey, we did it, thank you. Or go to class and recognize class that are doing well and do some kind of formal event to, that they feel that they achieved something. It's really important that we see the completion of the year as something that is happening, okay? So recognize others and also yourself. Reflect on what you did and be proud. Whatever you do, I'm sure you will find reasons to be proud of yourself. So remember, this is our vision. I highlighted, the colors are still the same.
No.
It's okay.
You're using a different version.
Well, this is maybe. So, so I highlighted four words in the vision. Silence, please. Four words in the vision, okay? And this must be present in what we are doing. So we should be strong, we should show strength, we should be leaders, we should be inspiring, we should be committed, we should be doing, we should be showing that we are there, that we are engaged, that we are supporting, that we are available. We should be having fun, because otherwise this doesn't make sense. We are here in our free time, so we should have fun. And if we are not learning, we are not. I know what's happening. The screen is. Okay. So I thought I was stupid. If we are not learning, we are not making enough effort. So remember this, and remember to plan, to execute, to celebrate, and to, what was the other one? And no, the other one, and to close, to prepare for the handover. Okay? Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Good. So next one in the agenda. Our program quality director, Cristina Juezas.
Okay. I want to start my report talking about pathways adoption.
Oh, sexy.
But the truth is that it's looking sexy. You see the trend? Do you see the trend? Yeah. Okay, so this line is the 90%, and the trend is almost there. It's different depending on the division, and this is something that I will go a little quick. This is division A. So all of the divisions are going up. In fact, division A is the one that is growing the most right now, but the truth is also that is the division with less pathways adoption, so that's also normal. Division B is a little bit stuck there, so think about it. Oh, Division C is also a little stuck right now, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Division E, they are masters of pathways. I know.
And D before,
yes.
D before.
Well, before, I don't know. I don't know how to manage that as well, but they are 10 points different with E. So, and you see, it's going up and down and up and down. Okay.
Wait.
Division E and Division F, also they are growing a little, but they are a bit stuck. Why is this? Okay, this happens because of new clubs. Every time you have a new club, they struggle and it takes them months, listen, months to get everybody on pathways. Why? Because they don't have mentors, they don't know how to do it. So they struggle and until they have someone that really knows how to make it happen, they don't get all of them engaged on pathways. Same thing with new members. Every time we have a new member, until they don't choose their path and get into the system, the club goes from 100% to 80% or to whatever percent. So it's making our rates go a bit lower. Let's make sure that everyone knows how to make this happen. It's easy because we have identified that is new clubs and new members. It's pretty easy to help them. And the other trend is all clubs with old members, and I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So let's keep an eye on this type of clubs. Then let's talk a little bit about training. So some of you have already done your TLIs, your COTs, etc. But still you have officers, you have clubs that for any other reason, they haven't met their goals or your goals in terms of training. Let's go creative, my friends. Let's find some ways to get these officers trained because it's important. They should know about these new members engaging into pathways so that your ratios go up. This I will talk later on the DOT today, tomorrow, today, well, I don't know. We all know these traditional training programs, the speechcraft, youth leadership, etc. But there's a whole universe of other trainings that are super interesting in Toastmasters. I will talk you about them. This is very nice for training clubs and for going a little bit out of our boxes. DCP, this is our chance, this is our opportunity to go beyond our limits. We're doing well. We have 24 clubs that even before the payments, the renewals, they are already virtually distinguished. 7 on their way. We need to have more because our goal is to have 48.
Don't touch.
Okay, so our goal is to have 48. And last but not least, Lisbon Conference. So everything is, everything is getting ready for our learners. You know why you have to go. You know why. Contest chair is Flavio Oliveira. We'll have a video in the DOT and at the end of the DECM from him. Keynote speaker is the second winner last year, Luisa Montalvo. She's amazing. And registration is open. Early bird ongoing until the end of March. Guys, what are you waiting for?
I have paid already.
Yes, it's still open. Yes, it's still open. And see you later.
Thank you. We continue with the report from the core team with our club director, Sara Magalhaes.
Hello, it's so nice to see you all here. I'm going to try now. I'm going to try to do it. Let's see how it goes. Let's talk a little bit about club growth at district level because I know we are going to hear from our division directors and I'm sure they will have more specific news than the ones that I'm going to tell you.
Not touch.
Just
No,
touch
it didn't work.
It's better using one.
Oh, it is. Okay, so since last time online, I don't have many news. Okay, we're still 86, but as I said, you're going to hear from our division directors, and we have some new clubs coming up very soon. Some of them even are already paid. So let's see. And about memberships payment rules, you can see we are more or less the same than last year. Okay, these are the numbers. Let's see how the renewals are going to be. And you probably know the district dashboard, right? Mm-hmm. It's available in our website, Toastmasters Iberia. So I put here some numbers from the district dashboard, and you can see the clubs per division, the members that we have right now per division, and the average membership. I put it in red, the lowest ones, just to reinforce. And okay, and then you have the 30 plus rates, the 20 plus rates, and the divisions with more weak clubs is Division E right now, and the more understrength rate is Division C. You have it all in our website, just if you want to go through the numbers with more detail. And after this, okay, these are our awards, the Smedley Division, Smedley Area, the Club Awards. You know, remember Speedy Gonzalez? We are going for it again with renewals. You can see, okay, Division A is already a Smedley division because it got two clubs. For Smedley Area, we are going to see who is a Smedley Area. Traditionally it's B1, B2, they are very strong, but we are going to see the final numbers in the end of our term. For Speedy Gonzalez, those are the winners from September. You know when the renewals are open? When can you start the payments to win the Speedy Gonzalez for the next renewals? Who knows? Now? But in which day? No. Toastmaster announced you can start the payments for the renewals in Monday. Monday. Okay. Monday, the renewals are open. So please go and pay and make sure to win an awesome video from our PR manager. Okay? Tell your clubs, Monday, it's the date. Okay, I put it here, the numbers from the clubs that had more members till now. These are only clubs that got recognition for adding 28 new members, Valencia Toastmasters, 27 Madrid, and Liria with 26 new members. Also, from the beginning of the year, we have 14 new coaches. This is only from this term, so you're probably thinking, oh, but we have several coaches that are not in here. No, these are the ones appointed. These terms you can see from all over Iberia. And if you look at Mike's report, weekly report from the dashboard, there are few weak clubs that need coaches. Right now we have almost all of them covered. And money is always important. And this, I talked to Vitor, and we want to remind you that if you want to spend your marketing budget, do it till the end of April, okay? Because after that, there's no point of expanding. If you have proposals to do your expenses, please present it till the end of April. I always put this slide because this is going online. Every time you got doubts about how much money I have, what can I do, go and check it on the website. This is always available, okay? And if you have doubts and which kind of expenses to do, talk to me, talk to Vitor. And now, this is the final numbers from club visits round 1. We are starting soon club visits round 2. As you can see, it's very high. Let's try to do even better in this second time. But a big round of applause for all of you area directors who got these numbers. because as I said, payments will start Monday and they have to be done till the 1st of April. Then you gotta check if you lost clubs. No, we're not going to lose, I don't know. But you gotta check it. You gotta propose coaches for the week clubs. And I know this is not the official date, but let's have this date in mind till the end of April to do all the club, the area visit reports and submit it. Why this date? To give time to the clubs to read the feedback that you are going to give them and to improve, to help really the clubs to do something before the term ends. So it's important to keep this. This is the team. There was no changes. I always like to remind the people that work in Club Growth. So let's keep the energy. Thank you.
Next one, the marketing and public relations report by our PR manager, Sergio Aria.
Let me just test this, please. Okay, let me just. No, can you? Okay. We are in the end of the year. We have 5 months ahead of us. And we have. This is analogic. We have 5 months ahead of us. And we are starting to get DTMs, we are starting to get people finishing their path, and we are starting to have members finishing level 1, level 2. So let's commemorate that, let's embrace that, let's give some treats to our members of our clubs. So go to this page, and you're gonna have here a lot of material for you to use on your presentations, PowerPoints, awards creating, and we create a lot of templates for you to use. So let's start from the beginning. Over here, you have quality material, professional material free of use. You can use it. You can use it to create your own stories. You can use it to create your own awards, advertising, to get new members on your club, to do your campaigns. Over here, if you go to free photos, videos, you have a bank of pretty amazing images, pretty amazing videos, and you can use it for free. They are professional quality. You don't have royalty problems with this. Next, templates. If you need to show your club on a map, if you are going to somewhere, if you want to do a road trip, if you want to publicize if you want to do magic with a beer map, use this. It's a great template, it's easy to use, and it's everything that I'm going to show is professional quality. Next, flags. You know these images with all the faces. If you need to promote your members that are reaching achievements, that they are conquering their own path, use these, just put the picture on top, put the text, and it's all done for you. Next, promotional background templates. This is important. A lot of us are struggling because we need to have a good graphic identity to our club. And we want to promote something that will gonna happen a month ahead. And we are struggling, what I'm going to do. If you use these templates that the district is giving you, and you just put text and photos, and the professional photos that I show you, you're gonna have a great template to show and to share on your social media. And logos. Oh, by the way, you have a white logo over here, like this one, but it's white, but you cannot see. If you are struggling, sometimes we are creating some material and we have darker images and we put this logo over here and we can see our district. You have more options over here with the colors of those masters that you can use. And that's all. Use the stuff that we are giving you. Go online, download everything. New stuff is gonna appear. It's a page that is growing and growing. And if you want any help and if you need material, please contact me like you have done. And enjoy Madrid. Thank you, Sergio.
And now, finance. You all were waiting for this. The finance manager, Victor Walker. Are you going to use this or screen? Or?
No, yes. Okay, during the DECM, we have the compulsory moment to show how are the accounting for the previous semester. So this goes from the 1st of July to the 13th of December. And I would like to go through some numbers that I think that may need clarification.
The other way around.
Yeah, but the pointer.
Ah, the pointer.
No, but it's not possible. Because there is too much light in the screen, so you don't see the pointer. Okay.
But on that.
So this. Okay, this figure that you see, the conference revenue, this relates only to Lisbon. But this doesn't mean that we already have 2,000 euros for tickets, but it is rather just half of it, because there are some people from other districts in Europe that are paying to our account, and of course we have to return it back. And we have a reimbursement for Shamshir keynote's expenses, so it is actually just around 1,000 euros already on tickets for the conference. Some of you already paid for the conference. Numbers that I would like to talk about. Marketing expense. As you see, we plan to have by this moment 2,500 euros on marketing expenses, but we only have 100. Why do you think is this? Idea.
So wait, sorry, so the budget is 2,500 a day and we've only spent 126?
Yes, on marketing.
Because the clubs don't make any requirement. They don't have.
But we don't use
They
it.
don't know how
We
to
don't
use
use it.
Because we are not using our budget of marketing. A few of you have make use of the marketing, but very few. So I will tell you later, but it's important that you start thinking on marketing actions to spend the money. If you try to make a marketing action on June, then it won't take the effect that you expect. So start thinking on marketing actions now, okay? And okay, a figure that maybe the 500 of administration expense that we plan zero. It is not that we plan zero. We plan these expenses for the second semester, and they happen here because they are the ribbons or badges. And travel expense that we spend 1,000 less, but it is not actually that we didn't spend it, but it is that this only reflects what is currently in the Toastmasters accounting. This means that any expense that we already made, but is not being paid, is not here. So all the expenses that are pending, expenses for club visits, they are not here, okay? So that's the reason why we haven't, we are less in the budget of travel. And finally, the conclusion, we are 10,000
yeah, 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 over the budget. Yeah, okay.
We have 5,000 more, and we
Yeah.
spend 5,000 less.
That's it. So, at this moment, because these are official numbers, this is what is currently in the accounting. This is a copy paste. Okay, but don't trust the budget in this case, because we planned the budget. Okay, just my point is, we planned the budget to consider the expenses to be reimbursed when they happen. But this is not how Toastmasters works. The Toastmasters works is that you make an expense, then a process, sometimes very long process starts until you get the reimbursement. So we plan the budget for the dates in which the expense were done, but the truth is that the expenses come later. So this is why we have the difference between the budget and the actual. And we have to take this into account when we see the numbers in Toastmasters. This might be something that we can take for future years when we plan the budget, to consider that it will appear in the system later. So this is just a clarification of all the different categories in the budget for you to have it in the version of the PPT that will be published later. And I would like you to have this in your mind. So if you want to take a picture, take the chance now, because for the first round of club visits, you have this next week to submit expenses. If you submit the expenses and it went back, we send it again. It will be in your inbox, so you can send it again, and it will be checked this week, okay? This is important because in order to reimburse the part of Madrid, we are using what is not used for the first round of club visits to increase the reimbursement of your travel here. Okay, so I need to close the first round of club visits before we close the reimbursement for Madrid. Okay? And then finally, the marketing actions. 30th of April to be reimbursed. So this means that the marketing actions should have been take place before. Yeah?
Sorry.
Very quickly. I don't know if this is...
We have a Q&A later.
Okay.
We have a Q&A later.
No, we made the questions. Keep the question. We have a Q&A after the core field report.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, IT, what is Gustavo?
Okay, still confused about the numbers and all the questions. Just wait 5 minutes, because after my presentation is the Q&A. So now, IT report. The team. Welcome to the NASDAQ. So you remember Diego for Spain, Philip. I don't know if you are using WhatsApp for questioning EasySpeak or whatever doubts you have about IT in Spain, Portugal. You have the EasySpeak on Spain. The EasySpeak also in Portugal. Philip also created an email for Portuguese doubt if you prefer to get in touch with him in Portuguese. So go over it. Bitly, it's okay for it. The website that you know for sure. Who doesn't use the website? Okay, I got it. We have, sorry?
How many hits?
How many hits?
No.
But we have new contents on the website, like our PR told, but we also have Nacho, who uses Nacho dashboard. Okay, a round of applause for you. But we also have new contents related to the webinars. There was a lot of effort doing those webinars by several people, and we tried to organize them on the website and created a YouTube library to organize all this. Why? Because we want to leave legacy for the following years. So there is a link that you can spread over your divisions, your areas. There is this bit.ly. And currently we have 12 webinars available. So whatever webinars we do online, we have some in Spanish, changes to the pathways, a lot of how to build a club. All these webinars, they were recorded and they are available on our YouTube, our Iberia YouTube page. So we keep passing all these years and we are creating our legacy. And this is very important to maintain content available. So if you need to record some of your codes or your content, some of you also requested me, we can download the Zoom and upload for you to spread over your divisions or area. And then we put them on the Iberia YouTube and you share with your fellow members. Don't forget to register to the spring conference. The request for the registration and also for the workshops are available through our website. So go over there and spread to your members that they can register there. The links are available there. You also use Zoom a lot. I receive several WhatsApps or several emails. And for the Zoom, we have this is, you also know, we can have 100 attendees and no time limit. But do you remember that some of you requested that we have some rules and overlapping of some Zoom meetings? So we have a document that is almost finished. Maybe in some days we will put it online. So there are rules to request a call. They are almost finished. We are just setting up 2 or 3 points, but they will be published online. Okay. We also are using Bitly. Who knows Bitly? Bitly is a website for sharing the links. So if you have a big link like this, you can use Bitly to shorten it. This is a way to simplify our communication. So we put a prefix of 107 and then PT WhatsApp, ES WhatsApp, and webinars. You can create an account for your division, for your areas. We have one for 107, so it's easier to simplify your communication. It's just an animated GIF, how it works. You have a big one, and it creates a short link. Our Google Drive, do you remember? On the past, what we have was historical data from Nacho's Drive, Nelson Drive. We are already put everything on the website connected to the Google Drive of Iberia. So at the moment, we have all the information on the website connected to one single Google Drive. So for the next year, we create one another main page. So everything is connected in the drive, not on the division director drive. Spanish website, don't forget, there is the HPL opportunity to create the current España Toastmasters.org, and even Toastmaster.es is not even more available. So this is a big, huge opportunity for those who want to do a high-performance leadership project. At finish, we will be here to help you and receive your Zoom requests and whatever you want. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Now the Q&A. Manjam, just start.
I was just wondering,
may I ask the core team to come up here because so the questions are not for me, I guess. So, I hope. So probably there will be more detail, and I don't know all the answers. So you can start with the question.
yes. First of all, I would like to, for Gustavo, I would like to apologize for all this thing, all this problem we have for the Zoom, for the code A for. So sorry, it's a very good idea that you have written the rules. I think that's fantastic too. Thank you very much. And then for Victor, yeah, I really would like to know how do we need to put all the tickets back again? Do we need to put any notes on it, or how do we do it? Because I mean, the easier we know how to do it, the easier for everybody.
Yes. Okay. She is referring to Concur. In Concur, what happens is that if you present a report and the report is not approved on time, it goes back to you. This window, it has a certain days. So when it's back to you, it doesn't mean it is deleted. It's back to your inbox. So you still have the same report there. If you want to resend them, you can resend the same report without touching anything. So you don't have to restart a report when it is back in your inbox.
But we have to resend it.
Yeah, you send it again, so the window starts again. Okay, if you have any reports pending from this last time, you can resend it this week and you will be replied. Claudia?
But why is it that within those 10 days, it doesn't get, no action is taken?
Okay, I will address this a little more lately, but during the last month and a half, 2 months, the accounting and the process of replying to the emails and your question regarding finances has been a little delayed and paused. So that's the reason why you haven't received any reply regarding the concours. But this is not the usual procedure, so things will be changed from now on, okay? Yes. So it's not correct.
No, but I guess you get them all. David?
So what should I do with my budget? Should I try to spend all the money like last year, or should I save for other people for next year? What should I do?
May I take that? Because it's not about finance. It's about, I mean, we always said the money is there to be used for the mission of the district. So if it's going to be useful, use it. If you are just going to use it for the sake of using it, don't use it. I mean, I've been many years hearing use it, use it, use it, use it. This year, we are not saying that. We are saying use it wisely. I'm sure that we all have good ideas here. So use the money for those ideas. Use the money for club building. Use the money for training. Use the money for PR. Use the money for what we need to use. But and you as much as with the limits as much as you can. But don't say I have money. Let's print leaflets, because I've done that in the past. But we were rich. This year we are not rich, and next year we want the District 107 next year to have a safety net. Exactly. I mean, this year we are a little bit stretched. We are not having a good time, Victor. so really, let's use it, but if it makes sense, and that's why Sarah was saying, let's use it before April 30th. Doesn't make sense that we spend marketing in May and June. Leave that for the next year.
If I don't use it, can I give to someone else?
If someone else has a very good idea and has talked to you and you all agree and you share that with the people that have to approve the expense, yes. Yeah, if someone needs that and it's gonna be profitable, yeah. Antonio?
Yeah, regarding ghost clubs.
We have only one, I guess.
Yes, which
you are lucky.
Twice.
It's true, you were lucky before.
It's a club which it's a paper club. Okay. It gives to us the influence in the numbers of your statistics.
A club that doesn't have meetings or anything. They pay the fee, they got the club, but they don't have any activity.
And you say, why do they do it? We don't know.
The question is,
so what is the question?
The question is, exists influence in the negative way our numbers, okay, our goals, and what are the measures? What are what we must do to kill the ghost?
For the moment, what we need is information and some proofs that it's actually a paper club. So I don't know what proofs we need to make it a paper. But.
Can I just add, if they don't do the renewals, they will die by themselves. So there is no problem with the paper club. If we want to do some action, we need some testimonials, even from the members that are fakely registered, saying, I here stand by saying, I did not did this. So we need some testimonials together so we can present to Toastmasters International.
What is the quorum to have?
What is that?
Or the number of the members that.
If you have one is enough to show that something is not right.
Yeah.
If you have it,
it's a smoking
bring
gun.
it to me and I can start presenting the case.
Yeah, correct. Majel?
Yes, in A4 we have Synergia, which is not in use, but we're doing a lot of the speech graphs, Mike and I, mainly Mike, by helping him in Santander, and we have many people that might come to a club, and we were wondering if we can maintain Synergia with new people. I mean, if we can, I don't know how you call that. Because we have a club that's open, that is not running, it's not ghost. But can that people sort of get into the Synergia license and start a club like this?
There are rules, and I will show you where to find those rules, so that you can use them in first hand. It's not us repeating what we remember. I will show you where you can. There's a training session about that, where you can see what are the rules for clubs to reinstate. Okay, but I guess everyone knew you cannot. There must be some continuity. Okay, last question. No?
Okay,
No?
another question.
Yes, Claudia.
Regarding budgets, we have a budget, so I can spend X amount of money.
Yes.
Why don't you trust me in knowing how to spend it? Why do I have to send, this is what I'm going to spend it on? And then it takes time to get approved, and then I can't spend it, or I'm worried to spend it in case I don't get paid for it. Yet I don't want my club or my area to suffer. So I take the initiative to spend it, and I'm hoping that I get reimbursed, because there is a budget, and I will fall in within the budget, but I don't want to have to wait to get it approved.
Yes, if we don't present the budget, the risk is that you make an expense that we can approve, but Toastmasters later will deny. The point of you sending the budget is first that you think and plan the expenses that you make, and also that we can put some knowledge and experience into helping you if there is something that won't be approved by Toastmasters. So we tell you in advance. If you don't have an answer for this and you make the action, it doesn't mean that you won't be approved. But we didn't put our experience there in order to show you there is something risking by Toastmasters, okay? Of course, for us, an action is understandable, and we will try to approve, of course, everything that you think is good for the clubs and for the members. But there are rules. And if you don't clearly know the rules, you may be doing an expense that later won't be approved by Toastmasters. So the point is there that we can help you before you make the expense. Okay, this is the point.
It has happened in the past that some area directors, mainly because you are the ones spending the most part of the money, area directors made a expense that, to their knowledge, they thought it was a good idea, or maybe it was not even in their thoughts, and they were, using the money, spending the money, not using it but spending it, and then the district couldn't reimburse it, and then this is frustration, and why I had the money, why I cannot, and so on. And we cannot, even if we give instructions and rules, we cannot cover everything. Victor is checking from time to time with TMI, with Toastmasters International, about the specific things, saying, this. My general understanding is this, but maybe this one is a little bit extra.
Is there a guideline? Can we have some type of guideline?
It's only the protocols and so these governing documents of Toastmasters that are not so.
That we will have a session later on about the governing documents, not about the guidelines, but where all this comes up. But still, it's not 100% clear. You read it and you still make questions.
Small one. In the budget, we have money for the court, we have money for the competitions. I haven't spent anything for the court, it was all free. May I use this money for the competition?
So in every document that we talk about the budget, we said that this allocation of marketing, club officers training, is only a suggestion. You have the total amount that you can distribute as you think it's better for your area or division. Okay, so it's up to you to follow the suggestion or make a different allocation, but always respecting the maximum.
for example, that we have a demo meeting for the club in Logroño, the future demo meeting. There are many people that they are putting the money to go there from Santander, Madrid, people from Madrid and so on. Can I have some of my money
To travel?
to help them?
Travel,
I mean,
no.
to help people that are helping the club, a new club, that we need a new club.
Michael, that's travel.
Help, you're talking about helping, but it's travel. And this is the kind of thing that we should, you know, if we don't control, pre-approve that, she might say, well, I have 100 euros. Here you are for travel, but we don't have money for travel. We have money for marketing and demo meetings, for coffee, but we don't have money for travel. So it's this kind of thing that we want to avoid. This misunderstanding that is common sense, right? But it's not.
It makes no sense, really. To pay for coffee and not for people helping.
I know.
Right.
Okay, so we ran out. I don't know if you had a question or not. No? No question? No more question? Okay, then Q&A is over. Thank you very much.
Just one quick thing. We will be here on the weekend, so if you have any additional question, we all will be here during this weekend. So you can address us later, or okay, we can comment on it in the event.
Good. Thank you. I have some good news.
Coffee.
No. See your watches or your phones. And see the agenda. We started 5 minutes late and we're 5 minutes late, so we're on time. Oh my God. Thank you. Now we go with the next part, which is the division director success plan. So now it's your turn, division directors, to tell us how you are doing and what you're going to do. And welcome, Paul.
Oh, hello.
So we start with Division A, Pablo Garcia.
Once upon a time, in the northwest of our 107 world, there were 5 heroes, 5 people very motivated and who had a mission. And that mission was to spread knowledge while having fun. And for that, they used the most sophisticated tool in the world, a base station to send their signals. It's also known as clubs, but we like to call it base stations. And we have 2 types of base stations. Those 5 heroes needed to deal with these 2 types. One was the type of base station that belongs to the population. They are open, and everybody takes care of them, and the government pays for repairing them. And there are other type of base stations which kind of belong to a landlord that sometimes might be mischievous and evil. Among those 2 types, they are also distributed in 4 different shapes, which are the good base stations, the good clubs. And why are good? Because they have good signals who achieve really far, and they can bring up knowledge and fun to many people together. There are other types which are not that powerful, but it's still okay. And they can reach the signal up to 19 people. We also have the type of base station that can only reach 12, and that's a pity because they cannot spread the word with the same fun that the good ones could do. And we have the deadly final type of base stations or clubs, which is the zombie. And it's zombie because they are dead. They are there, but they don't have a brain. There is nothing in it. So those 5 heroes started working, and for that, they needed to fix those base stations. And started working, and start with the first one, Manolo. He's got 2 base stations that are really rich and powerful, and he's struggling with one of the base stations with only it's 13 people, but you know what happened with that club, with that base stations? They are happy with that number. They just in small villages and they don't want to move from there. The problem is that Manolo knew that Naturgy is one zombie base station. So he's working very hard in Red Hat to have a demo meeting in the 14th of February, St. Valentine's Day. Oh. And he's going a little baby, which are the base station. He's already thinking about. In the end, he's going to reach this number to get it bigger. Now moving on to Lydia. Lydia is in the same situation, more or less. She's got a zombie club, CNH. She didn't do anything about it, probably. But EMI is already working very hard on it, and as you can see, it's only 5 tunings that she needs to do to reach more people in the base station. But there is also a baby there. And actually, that is going to happen next time. Moving onwards, she will improve those numbers, of course, whenever we have the 34 members with the Cisco Club. Now moving on with David. David is located in an area where he's had some struggles. Actually, the zombie is going to revive. It's going to come to life, at least in a red fashion. We will see that. And as you can see, Sibelius is just struggling to get bigger. But look, David has 2 eggs. And he already improved those numbers. Now, moving on to Mangel. Mangel is in an amazing region of this 107 world, where they have 4 like that. And actually, Valladolid is the one with biggest numbers of members in the whole area of this division. And as you heard before, Sinergia is wanting to improve and probably will come alive again. And there's also another baby there, it's Logroño. And finally, we have Gabi. Gabi doesn't have any zombie, but he's got to, he thought instead of creating new class, why don't we actually help the ones we have? And that's why he hired employees to solve it. Altogether, in this Division A, in this area, they have grown 2 people already, but there will be more at the end of the year. Why? Because we need to educate in a new fashion. And for that, we need to improve those numbers. So we want to have those people trained the same way. What is the biggest challenge that they face is those landlords, those corporate clubs that are difficult. And for that, they are putting together demo meetings, corporate summits, and things like that. Because when they work in a team and they have their own offices trained, as they already did, most of them, we are gonna achieve that area, that division in the northwest of Spain will be just unstoppable.
You know he works for Ericsson, right? Well, Division C, Vanessa.
No. I'm for manager. So Division C, back to basics. Our mission is to support my mission, be available for area directors and clubs, of course, and influence members and spread Toastmasters by our 5 and have a positive impact in society. So for that, we need to have the true reality. So in C1, what is the biggest challenge of the area is charter family count. So a new baby, a new, and also a big success is to have Viana are increased and Mind and Braga are working closely to have more members in Braga. In C2, we have a possibility baby from advanced club, and also we are working with Polytechnico to have a new club for next year. The biggest challenge is to maintain some of the clubs, Figueira and Viseu, and the numbers of the members. About C3, the biggest challenge is to have membership because the clubs have fewer members, but a big success is Torres Novas, which had 3 members last year and now have 22. So, and also they held the TLI last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So they are very compromised with they are very committed, yeah. So for C4, we have already one new club, is Douro dos Massas Club, and they are very commitment, and they will go for the court, so they are very commitment and very enthusiastic about it. The biggest challenge in the area is the Bairrada and Tecmaia. So yes, we need to improve pathways adoption, but what are the actions needed for these last 6 months is charter Famalicão and one ambassador club, keep alive and push Figueira dos Masters, win or they have 2 of the clubs, Viseu and Bairrada, prepare possibilities for new clubs for the next year, for example in C3 and C2, and find new members, of course, improve pathways adoptions, and share the best practice. And well, we need to support coaches and area directors to have the last 6 months very commitment and very fun. So let's go.
Thank you.
5 minutes.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Next one, Clara Nobel, Division E Director.
Am I going forward? Okay. So, Division E is epic. Epic. To be epic, you need 2 things. You need the heroes, and the heroes are here. João and George are back there, so you got live heroes here. And you also need the villains. And the villains for us this year have been procrastination, inertia, and also the fact that I'll explain later. I'll leave it second. Okay, so Division 1, Area 1, E1. So here is a good example of inertia. 8. We've had 3 big sessions that were being done in a museum, and 3 times they were postponed. So one was going to be today, but it's not happening. So yes, it's a problem. Elena is working on it, but on the other hand, we've had other clubs that have grown. So it's all international, got down a lot and recovered. So it's all good. I'm happy. E2 here, we've had everything in terms of challenges. So we've had people who've had can't make it. The president of a club can't make it all the Thursdays until the year end. We have to change, and then we have to talk to all the members to change the day of the club. We've had all sorts of challenges, but it's looking good. Nokia is now having the renewals. Obviously, at the end, I'll say it's always a challenge. The Let's Speak Toastmasters Club, we've had divorces and lost 2 members because of divorces. So it's going. I still hope that.
Only 2. That's good.
Yeah, 6 too. And one kept on going, but then the husband went and took the car away from us, so she can't go. It's crazy. So I'm going to write a book, by the way, in case you can do the order now. And then in E3 we have the big news, which is we have a new club that's been approved for Montpellier. It's already approved 30 people. Okay, so we have on the 20th. Constitutes who are the lucky 20 has already been paid for, or the money is already there. So here in TAX we also had It looks like it hasn't grown much, but from 13 we went down to 8 and then to 17. So things are moving. And in leadership, again, I wanted to bring that yellow. It's the person is going to pay this week. So it's really doing pretty well. In terms of training, we've had all our offices, we had 88 people in this TLI. We had 53 officers trained, and we had an average of 4.8. So we really believe that it's important to train our officers, and so that they go to the clubs and they can make things happen. Okay, so let's look at the pathways situation. So I know we're a little bit better than most divisions, but I'm not happy with this, okay? Why not? I mean, especially as you can see, it's my own area that, or the area my club is in, that has less people. Why? Because, for instance, in Nokia is paid for people to to attend, and that they haven't never attended. So there's 5 people there that now in the renewals they're going to drop because they never chose a pass because they never went to the club. And also, and I hope that you talk to Toastmasters International, we have the issue of the dual members who cannot count. So for instance, in Quinta da Fonte, there's those people, sorry, not in Quinta da Fonte, in Lagoas, those 3 people, 2 is Ray and I, because it doesn't count that we're in pathways. It doesn't matter how many paths we buy in Quinta da Fonte, because it's our second club, it doesn't count. So 2 of those 3 people, it's Ray and I, and we're in pathways. So it's crazy, but it's true. And in advance, that one is Rui, which is the same situation. So beware of that. They can't ask us to perform in a certain way if then they don't let us count what we're doing. So it's really a bad situation. So it's going to get better for sure. In terms of challenges, we have 2 big challenges. One is obviously the renewals, which is, I think, is a challenge for everyone. And the other one is a challenge with the work from home. And that was the 3rd big villain. We have in the ex-corporate clubs, so Quinta da Fonte and the Lagoas, we have a lot of people that can now work from home, and they live like 40 kilometers away. So they stopped coming to the company. So we're losing members because of that. And that is a huge, huge, huge challenge. We might lose Quinta da Fonte because of that. The big success is Montepio, obviously, and I had hoped so much that I had still another little baby. I don't know, keep whatever you believe in the universe, in God, whatever, pray, because next week there's going to be decided if we have another club, and it will be probably about this size. It's already been approved by the legal department. It's now on the finance department because they want to pay for it so that the members don't pay anything. So keep your fingers crossed. I am. So I hope I'll have good news soon.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Division B, Barcelona, Alba.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello, people in the back. Whoa, I have my area director there. Yeah. And here we are. I don't have that creativity that Pablo has shown you, but I'm going to straight to the point. Division B. Our situation. We have 2 big areas, not big areas, all of them are big, but we have 2 strong areas, which is B1, which is Atletas, and B2. So as you see, I'm happy with these 2 areas because they have grown in almost everything. They have grown in numbers, as you see. They started with, in June, a few members, and then they have been growing. Although area B1, they have not increased members, even the members have gone down, but the reason is that those clubs, they are established because there were lots of people that used to be sponsors. They pay, but they don't go to the sessions. But in fact, so the results has been gotten by the people who actually attend the sessions. So they, as you see, they are already in a status distinguished. And so for me, it doesn't really matter if they have lost some members. So Area B2, we have a strong, there are two strong clubs, Barcelona and Sagrada Familia. And as you see, Barcelona Toastmaster is established with 43 members. Sagrada Familia has grown up to 39. They are working hard and they are doing so many things. It's a club which is working hard. They are already selected and distinguished. Diagonal Mar has decreased in 1 member, but they are also working hard and they are very enthusiastic people. Somi Toastmaster is a club that is a Catalan club. They have sessions in Catalan and English. And the thing is that, well, Paul, which is the area director, is working hard with them, I know. And well, they have dreams and they want to be at least selected distinguished. They have lost 1 member, but and they are now, you will see that they have plans for increasing their membership. Now we are moving to the next 2 areas, which are Area B3 with Ian Gibbs and Area B4 with Gemma Sarsa. We are not here. And those are our weakest areas in the division. Area B3. Agora Toastmaster is a club that started with 10 members in June, 1st of July. They lost 6. So in September, they were only 4 people in the club. But the president of the club has been working hard. I've been helping them, the area director as well, and they have grown to 10 members now. In fact, I received a message from the president yesterday, and he told me we have 3 more, so we have 13 now. So, and well, they are working hard as well. We are working with them because, well, they need to grow membership, and they are like stuck. We don't exactly know the reason, but we are working on it. And Area before this, the corporate class, and this lady Gemma has a big issue because she said that these people, in fact, only 1 person from these 3 clubs showed up to the club last week. Only 1 person from ADP. So they are not willing to cooperate, they don't want to compete, they don't want to participate, and she's trying to, she wants help from people who run corporate clubs to see how she can work with these clubs. Actions in process. B1, he has already a meeting with Alcover. It's an institution in Manacor because they want to create a new club there. Probably it's not going to be for this year, but for next year. Meeting for another corporate club in Palma de Mallorca. They are going to do a speech club in Mallorca in a few, next month probably. And at a contest on the 14th of March. B2, Paul here, well, his goal, because last weekend I showed all the clubs the status in pathways. So we work with each one because many officers are not in pathways yet. So I encourage them to at least, officers lead by example and sign up in pathways. So they have those goals. Increasing membership, they are working with Somi Catalan and campaigning Catalan language for language schools. Area B3, well, they only have they don't have any actions in process, and also B4, unfortunately not, because no cooperation from clubs. Division Conference, 9th of May. Goals and results, new club. We have a new club, ES Toastmasters. It's going to be in B3. They have paid already, but not registered officially, because one little thing is that you must take note. They paid for the 20 members $1,300, but they did the conversion rate differently, and they didn't pay the expenses, so Toastmasters just count $1,200 or $1,000. So they are waiting for them to pay the rest in order to make them officially chartered. But they have done that already. So make sure that you pay the full amount with no expenses and everything. Well, increasing pathways, Organization Express Mallorca, Organization GLP in the division, which is already done in Mallorca in November with very huge success. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now the division lead report, Gonzalo Afonso.
So a long time ago in the galaxy, there was 3 young Jedi Knights that went through a journey, but only 2 survived. But at that time, a very experienced Jedi rose up to the challenge and accepted to replace that one that we lost. So that was the storytelling part. First phase, adoption. Our numbers are pretty good. I think we are one of the best of the district because we don't care about paper clubs. So this is what we have. The numbers where we don't have 100%, we know what is happening there. So it's people that are just finishing the legacy program and they will renew and they will move to pathways as soon as possible. We just said to them, just go to the website and choose a path.
Exactly.
So now it's going to improve a little bit more. Regarding training, so we did our training on the 11th of January. So we had less officers trained there, but still a good percentage. The good thing is that we did a TLI this time. So first time it was just CUT. Now we did a TLI, and we had a lot of new members coming in that are not officers, and they were very happy and very interested on following up some officer roles next time. So it was very good. In terms of DCP, almost our clubs got there. We have some challenge with the corporate clubs. Regarding contests, so that's our next phase. This is where we are working now. Every club that is going to be there to participate on the contest, we already have dates for them. So everyone is aware about the contest, they are working on that, and we have dates, everything is confirmed. So that was one of your questions. Regarding the challenge, our biggest challenge at the moment is to retain the corporate clubs. So every club that we have 3 corporate clubs in the area D1, and they all suffer from something at this moment. It's usually we have issues with corporate clubs, but this year it's been very painful, and we might lose all these 3 clubs that we have. We have issues with HR not being committed. We don't get support from HR. When we go to HR, please, can we communicate to the co-workers? It's not possible. We need to do the work ourselves. In some companies, they don't even allow to have a kind of internal intranet or way of communicating about this. So we need to go to the normal channels, and sometimes the people there, the management part, it's not, they are not supporting it. And we are talking about big companies in Portugal. The Gulf, for example, they are struggling a lot. They are going to a corporate reorganization, which is actually something kind of good, because we are now going to speak with the new HR manager and trying to see if we can kickstart the project. As well, about officers, we noticed that on the TLI, they didn't show up, and we went look for them, and we could not find people committed to take the officers' role. So they want to participate, but they don't want to be officers. So these are the biggest challenges at the moment that we are working on. It was an interesting thing. We are now putting a lot of effort in there. So we are bringing community clubs into corporate clubs in order to have proper meetings there. And we had one last 2 weeks ago in Everest, and I was talking about someone that was invited to be there, a co-worker, and I asked him, so how do you know about the club and so on? So I looked online, I found Toastmasters, and I said, I need to do this. I spoke with someone, and that someone said, but you work in Everest, you have a corporate, you have a Toastmasters club in there. It was crazy, yeah? So this is about communicating. Regarding growth, so we have at the moment 3 growth opportunities. One that we are continuously exploring, which is CTT. There are at the moment 29 co-workers interested on joining the corporate club. So we now are looking at the next steps. They asked for a second demo session. We are trying to do this with other community clubs that are next to it, or make them make the first step, which is to pay the charter fee and start having their meetings. There is a HCL consulting company that we are looking at creating as well a corporate club in there. We are going to start to follow up on that on February. And in the Tavira, which is area in the south of Portugal, our target for this year is to consolidate that area, and they are working on having a community club in there. So next steps, we keep with our plan. It's only 5 months to go, and we are already working on the handover, which is the TLI on the 20th of June in Algarve. This is where we are going to celebrate and make that transition. So thank you.
And last but not least, Division F, Laura.
Well, Division F. Division F, which is fabulous. Wow. is this. We have 3 areas. Basically, all Andalusia. This little club is the corporate clubs. And this area, which is, I'm not gonna say it, good. Our area director is in Sevilla. Just to give you the idea about how is the plan at the moment. The idea was, I don't know if you remember when we were in Oporto, the idea was that we had like 7 people, 7 areas where we could maybe get some clubs. That had changed quite a bit. But this is our situation now. We have those 10 clubs, which is according to the dashboard, because it's not true. As you see, this one is not here. Gonzalo, where are you? Gonzalo, Gonzalo. This, I think, is important, because this thing make us that even if we make the visit to the club, because this is still in the dashboard, it's counting like we don't make all the visits. So if the next year you have clubs that has disappeared, you have to send a report even if it's empty. That is a little trick that I would like to know it like a few months ago, but now I know. More things. We have in area F1, which is our strongest one, we have 1 prospect that is not official, but they are meeting in Cordoba. In area F2, we have 2 clubs at the moment. We don't have prospect at the moment. We are working on that, and we are working still with Open Plus and looking how we can align this for the next year. And area F3, we have very strong club with Valencia, which maybe is going to be divided, and Las Palmeras at the moment is a weak club, but that is weak, but as Pablo was telling before, because more or less because they are really committed to the meeting. So my idea, and I think the idea also of all our division, is the clubs that we have to have, they have to have a good quality, a good meetings. And from that, we continue. To make a club just to make numbers has no sense. These nice circles, forget them, sorry, I changed the column. But as you can see, we have Sevilla with 50 members. This is one of the clubs that we don't want yet split, because first we are gonna make meetings double at the moment. And from those double meetings, then we'll see if in summer we can split it. But it's not like, okay, we have so many people, it's gonna divide it. That is not gonna work, because then one of them is gonna disappear, or maybe both. What more do we have? Valencia is working also on that. At the moment they have 34. You saw before that they have like 30 new members this year, and they are working really hard on that. They have that goal at the end of the year, and in June, maybe divide. So we'll see what's happening. What more? Well, as you saw before, we have that all people has been trained, all business has been done. Of course, it's not counting that in F2, where that club, you don't have a club to visit, so that doesn't count. We have the corporate summit that we were gonna make in December,
and now it's planned for March. We have meetings. The two prospects that we still have are, as I say, Córdoba and Almería. It's gonna arrive the day in which Almería becomes a club. With they, no idea what is gonna go. But for us, it's also more important to keep them working and meeting than say, okay, we have the numbers. Because if we have the numbers and we lose it, what sense has? Nothing. And well, of course, all of you, we are working in the area contest. We are gonna make F1 and 2 together in the same contest. Division contest, as I think that most of the areas is gonna be on the 25th of April. And this is the next focus we have. We have corporate clubs we are working for. Airbus Sevilla, Airtech, maybe we recover that. But let's gonna say the blue. And Córdoba, we are working, that is our biggest point at the moment. And Rotary Club in Huelva is asking to become a club.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love how all division directors played safe and they didn't touch the screen. Eh? You saw? I tell them, do you go? No. Give me this. This is how I know how to use it. So last part of the meeting, a couple of more reports. One with the alignment report. This is the first time that we see the alignment in this year, and this is done by the alignment chair, Alicia Mancheño, who was the conference chair. My friends, the ones who remember the night. I mean, I don't know if you remember. Yeah, well, she was the conference chair.
But I think you have already. I'm sorry, Sergio. I didn't know we had a corporate man. So I got.
All the words.
I got my.
I like this one.
I found this one because I love most of our cities are there. So some of the smaller cities here don't have them. But I love this one to try to line how the divisions are. So even you have heard the reports, we have here a better understanding of how our divisions are at the moment. And I thank Nacho for giving me this role, because it allowed me to draw this map to understand you guys better and to have a bigger overview on how all the district is, which is very, very interesting, seriously. You have already heard the report of the division directors. It makes me easier to explain you what's going on in the district. So I may even not need all my slides. So only the summary one probably. So what is the summary?
Mortality is a strong way to start.
Yeah, but it's a very dynamic division. We have 4 zombies. He used the word zombies. So we have 4 zombies and ghosts. But also there are a lot of eggs and new babies. So it's a very dynamic division in Madrid. Even if we had, we recovered some of the zombies and we had all the babies born, we wouldn't need to split these 3 areas into more areas. So at the end, las gallinas que entran por las que salen. So sorry, this is a Spanish. This is a Spanish humorist that says the hens that go in equals the hens that go out. So this is a Spanish joke. And then there is a possibility of splitting, this is the important part, there is a possibility of splitting the north A4 plus A5 into 3 areas if we manage to get one more club or recover one of the more dead clubs. Sorry. This is the big decision of this year. If we had one more club that would make 12 clubs, do we want to split the areas A4 plus A5 into 3 areas? In this case, Division A would have 6 areas, and in that case, would we want to split Division A into 2 divisions? So I think this is the decision, and to see if we see how the clubs evolve in A4 plus A5, this is the big decision to be taken this year, if we split the divisions and the areas and the divisions. Then B, C, D, and E are doing quite well. They are very stable. They have some growth in all the areas. We may need a little bit realignment, but not too much. And for me, in these divisions around Lisbon, which are D and E, the question is, do we need to reorganize those divisions? Because the clubs are very mixed. Like I can see one division E in the middle of a lot of D. And this is something I want to check with both division directors and probably with Sarah as well at some point today. And then Division F, we have some difficulties in keeping the areas as they are. There are some good prospects, but we will see if we can even maybe align in only 2 areas instead of having 3 areas so big. And also the geographical factor, from my point of view, is affecting this, because as we said, poor division, poor area director is doing a lot of trouble, and probably this is also affecting the leadership part, because if you have someone in Seville, that most of the clubs are in Malaga, that may be affecting the way people think about their roles. So probably having a different geographical split of the clubs could help to the areas as well. Thank you very much. This is all. You can pass all of them.
Master
of the screen.
It's just touching.
Yes, it's
not an iPad, okay? For the ones, sorry? 5 minutes. So, DLC report. Nelson Emilio.
So, DLC report. So you already know that we are selecting our future leaders. And what is the status as of today? Well, first of all, the DLC committee suffered some changes. So we had someone from the Division A that now is a candidate for Division Director. So he has to step out of the team in order to have another person in order to select everyone. So basically, we have Arturo Medina since yesterday in our team, which means that we are starting now with the interviews to everyone. But how many positions do we have right now? So these are the ones. We are not considering the possibility of having one new division, which is Division A1, as I call it, and also a new area director. So it will depend on the growth of the Division A, but as of today, these are the positions we have opened until now. And we have some good news and some bad news. Regarding the good news, what is good? Well, basically we have very enthusiastic candidates. People say, oh, I want to be interviewed. So when is going to be when I'm going to be interviewed? Also, the candidate submissions, most candidates submit everything correctly. Although there was some missing information, I contact everyone requesting to update the documentation. And right now we have almost candidates, all the candidates with the right things fulfilled. And we have more than one candidate for some of the positions, which is good, which means that they might go all of them to the election process or some of them. But it's important because now we have people that are interested in the position, which means you have been doing a great job in order to not only show what is the value of your position, but also involve people to do it. The bad news, what is missing? Well, we have some area directors missing and even division directors. In Division A, we are missing one candidate for area director. In Division B, 3 candidates. And Alba told me, well, Nelson, we might have one person, so 2 candidates missing. Division C, 1 area director. And Division D, well, we don't have candidate for division director yet, but we might have, let's see. And 2 area directors. 2 area directors. Division E, nothing. So it's all positions. We have candidates and division F. So we are not accepting candidates for the positions that are already fulfilled, but we are accepting candidates for the one that are not. By the way, remember that this year you cannot have candidates from the floor that didn't went through the DLC process. So there are no chances to run for a position that we already have closed for example, an area director or a division director or even the core team. Only the candidates that already submit and the ones that are going to submit their candidacy can run from the floor. So which means that there is no chances for someone to appear, oh, now I want to run for district director position. So if they didn't go through the DLC process, there is no chance to do it. Also, there are a new rule, which means that we need to have at least 2 candidates for club growth director. In the past, there was at least 1. Now for club growth, we need to have at least 2, but we have more than that. So the role of timeline. We had to adjust the interview process. The interview process was supposed to start in the mid of January. We are moving it forward to start from today onwards, and it will end up to March 15. If we have to, like for example, have another meeting, another interview with some of the candidates, we have plenty of time because we need to submit to the district director the final report on March 30th, and then it's going to be published on the website and announced to the entire district. By the way, the candidates, they can send emails to the entire district according to the rules. So it's important to read the email that I sent to all of you in order to follow the rules, to help inform people that how they can use the right to send information to the district according to the procedures. What I need from you as DLC chair? Well, I need to spread the word to your clubs that we need to find additional leaders. Also, find them. So also, but more important, prepare them to replace you and to do a better job than you did. Because if you do that, it's important. So they need to do a better job than you, which means that the district will grow and you will train new leaders. That's the important thing. So please do your best.
Thank you. He meant an even better job than you.
Even better.
Yeah, I'm reading your mind.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, let's go with the Spring District Conference in Lisbon. What do we have, Cristina?
We have a video.
We have a video.
Hello, my fellow district officers. It's a huge pleasure to be here with all of you today and telling you a little bit about our spring conference, which will take place here in Lisbon on the last weekend of May. Today, I would like to remember, as you should already calculate that this conference will have an autumn speech contest that everyone likes to assist and participate. We're going to have an amazing workshops on our conference and also very animated and without some surprise gala dinner. So maybe, let me share this, maybe we will have an open bar at the end. So as you may expect, that party will be awesome. Well, apart from that, I would like to invite you all to go to our Toastmasters Idea website, and the web events tab, you should find the conference webpage, and there you may fill the registration form and send all the information. Well, it's very important right now. We start to having an idea to how much people we're going to have on the conference. So as soon as you do it, is better for us, the organization. We thank you for that. It is also possible if you are interested or if you know someone which is interested on give a workshop on the conference, to apply for it. It's on the same website, Toastmasters Iberia website, and you can apply to a form. Explain us a little bit what you're thinking about, and we will contact you as soon as possible for the workshop. Last but not least, this is very important to us to know about how much people we can get to the conference. But we need your help. We need that you help us to promote on your clubs, on the best way you can do it, for everyone to sign and come to Lisbon in the last weekend of May. So, as the conference is already being organized and everything set it up to receive you well and provide you the best experience here in Lisbon with this amazing and awesome Toastmasters family, hope to see you soon. Hope to see you on Lisbon 2020 Spring Conference here in Lisbon. Thank you all.
Who hasn't been to Lisbon yet? No one? Okay, who didn't like Lisbon? Who doesn't like Toastmasters? I mean, it's a plan for success.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
One of the last requests from FAG was very important for you to broadcast information about the event. Think about this. You all are in a club, and if you as a club member are not seeing information coming in from your club officer saying that there is this event coming in and people should register, we are missing something here on the communication. So try from the division to the area to the clubs to see where this is going. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, new business. We have a small announcement. 3 minutes you have, Nelson, to talk us about Paris 2020. After Lisbon, we go to Madrid, Lisbon, Paris. I mean, this is like what else?
Okay, August 5 to 8, Paris. You have the opportunity to be in the first ever international convention of Toastmasters. But you can be there in a different way, as a helping hand or part of the helping hand team. So Helping Hands is a huge team, around 200 and something members that are helping the entire convention, helping the different areas in terms of logistics. I will be one of the chairs, in this case for the semifinals and for the World Championship, and each chair needs people on their team.
I filled the form and I didn't get any answer back.
That's what I'm going to tell you about. So there are some people that already filled the form, and they are going to be contacted from the February 10th onwards, because right now Toastmasters International gave the exclusivity to all the members in District 59 to fulfill that form. So we have around 25 members from District 59 because they are closer, and then from February and onwards, they are going to contact the ones that already filled the form, and they are open to everyone that wants to suggest their candidacy. We are going to have a reduced fee, so you are going to pay $465 to attend, and you need to give hours to attend. So, but we have one person here that already had this experience. Gustavo, can you share a little bit of your experience in Denver, please? 1 minute. So Gustavo,
in 1 minute. This is table topic.
Table topic.
A table topic. Who has a world championship contest on your bucket list? You.
To assist, no.
To attend. Do you have it? I have it. So I had the opportunity to be part of the Helping Hands team on Denver. So I was assigned 10 hours shift. I had several roles that I could choose to. So I choose. We had a week from Wednesday to Saturday, and I choose different positions from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I set my schedule. I have an app. I don't know the name, but the app told me, okay, you are on this shift, on this, on this, on this, on this, and you go there, and you could be sergeant at arms, you could be at the registration, you could be just taking care of the line where the speakers are taking photos or are just talking with the participants on the workshops. So since you make the 10 hours, you can be part of the Helping Hands team. There is a room with the coordinators. Every doubt you have, you go there. There are some food, some snacks. You get a package. So it's been great to be part of that team because it's an international experience and be part of people from all around the world and talk. And I can tell you a little story. I talked with a Brazilian girl. No, wait. No, she was blind, and he told me how in Toastmasters was important in the US because they don't talk with no one, and it's like a cult in the US, and they join from each other. They make the clubs, and that's why there are so many clubs on the US. So Helping Hands is a good opportunity to share histories and to share how clubs work on different countries other than ours.
So you pay less, you can be part of different teams, and you enjoy. Thank you.
And with this, let's go on the meeting.
Yes,
Do you know when is our next meeting?
Online.
My God, recording. When is the next meeting? Online. When? 17th of May. In the morning, Sunday morning. See you all in the screens. 17th of May, Sunday morning. We have our next district executive committee. This is you. Meeting. This is this. Thank you very much. We finished on time, team. Thank you very much. Now we have a break. Manolo, we have now a break for, we can go to the kitchen. And we go back at 15 minutes, okay? Thank you.